So we're live.
All right.
Early in the morning. Good googly goo.
Yeah. How's everybody this morning?
I'm pretty good.
Yeah.
Fantastic. It is Sunday.
Yes.
What's the date? 10.
The 10th.
So we're one day away from 9/11.
Okay.
Is that significant to anybody? Oh, I guess we should start off formally here. Let's go back. Let's rewind. We're live at Two Bros Podcast, and we have a special guest with us today, the author and creator of the Runch Bunch. Am I saying it right?
Yep.
Runch Bunch. We have Chianne. Did you go Johnson?
Johnson.
Chianne Johnson with us. She's here joining Two Bros Podcast. Talk a little bit about her and her wonderful adventure. She was a creative person that I thought would be great for the podcast. And we just like to kick it with her. So welcome and thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. Chi-chi.
And I finally got it right. I was saying Chianne the whole time.
Chianne. So
She flogged me off camera.
we do have bagels to sop up some of
But
the
don't cover the books.
libation. No, I know.
Don't cover the books.
I know. I'm sorry.
Right, and we're giving Key Food more pub than Runch Bunch.
They didn't send us a check.
Are they the same or?
No, yeah, those are the same. I didn't get instructions on coffee. So those are coffee regulars.
I'm not. Yeah, that's.
Which is traditionally 2 creams, 2 milks, milk, and 2 sugars.
All right, I'll take it.
Traditionally. Since I think the 70s, we made a decision that regular
Well, I actually
coffee.
like light and sweet.
Do you? Okay.
The sugar is not needed, so.
Well, yeah, that's right. Where did regular coffee come from?
I have no idea.
we just said
we just
regular.
made a decision that was regular coffee,
Yeah, very
and we
interesting.
and that's like
Oh shoot! Oh hell no!
What was that?
I don't know.
A bug?
Yeah. It was green.
Wow.
okay.
was
So it was fresh,
Yeah, it was like
green, fresh bud.
like a grasshopper.
Really? I have spray here.
It wasn't a
somewhere.
grasshopper
No,
though.
we don't need spray.
We don't need spray.
Spray. How long have you? When did you start Runch Bunch?
Runch Bunch I started in 2016.
Okay.
Beginning of 2016.
Oh, okay, so it's relatively new. Okay.
Yeah, I mean the first book was published October 2016. Yeah,
Okay. Now, have you always been interested in children's literature, or?
No.
Okay.
Not at all. No, I mean it sounded like it started with just a conversation one day of coming up with different concepts of some things to come up with, like because I had no intentions on writing books.
Right.
But it started with actually we were gonna make, the mask that the hospitals wear,
Okay.
Yeah.
with children's cartoons on it.
Oh, okay.
But we couldn't come up with what to put on them, and then that conversation stemmed to, let's come up with a cartoon group.
Mhm.
And they were like, well, what? And then it's like, well, children, with special needs, and but then that stemmed from also watching commercials of St. Jude's and things like that.
Okay.
And then it was like, well, how do we get the group out there? And we just started writing books, and we came up with each character. It kind of like every day built.
It just
you
built
know,
and
every-
evolved.
Into something, right?
And evolved. So why special needs? Why was it always?
But they don't have a voice, especially if you get all children. This is the first cartoon group that represents children with special needs.
Mhm.
So it's kind of like they don't have a voice. So we wanted to bridge the gap between children with
That's
and
dope.
without special needs.
That's dope. And you're not a parent of this kid with special needs? Do you have anyone in your
No,
family?
I have a nephew.
You have a nephew. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's where you get your personal references from?
No, I don't get references from him.
Right.
Well, from his mom rather.
Mhm.
But I do know a lot of people who have children with autism and Down syndrome and stuff like that. So I get it from everywhere.
The first one, I read the first one, and
Okay.
and when I bought it, it was on Amazon, which was cool. That's
Oh,
dope.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I bought it straight from Amazon.
You can get them on Amazon.
Yeah,
Nice.
yeah, she's on Amazon. So for all y'all out there, we post all the links. But what I found was it took me back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Like when we used to watch the Schoolhouse Rocks.
Right.
And all the little, and it was quaint and faint, like it was just quick and just yay,
Mm-hmm.
we could do it. You know what I'm saying? And I was
Right.
like, okay, well, there's nothing wrong with these kids. Like
Right, right.
it wasn't like they were like, anything. It's not even to mention special needs. Like there's no need to mention special
Right,
needs.
they're
They're just
they're
regular
like
kids.
everyone else, right?
Right.
See, we don't like to use the term special needs.
Right.
We use different needs. Because I would say, like, all children have needs.
Hey, that's a good one.
Some are just different than others, right?
Different. I like that. Yeah, I like that. So, in the grand scheme of things, you're up to how many volumes now?
The third book.
You're up to the third.
We have 15 altogether. They're all written, but, you know, it takes time with the illustration and stuff like that. So, just 3 published.
And your illustrator is someone, the same guy every time?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you use him all the time.
Yeah.
It's pretty good. I like how he put it together.
He does some work for Disney and stuff.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah? How'd you find him?
Research, just looking online and, you know, going through his, what do you call it? Going
bio, his resume,
right, yeah,
his
out
repertoire and all his work.
And I liked it.
Is it important to have a relationship with that person to get it? Because it's like, you know, I'm in a shirt business and it's like somebody says, do what's in my head.
Well, not necessarily a relationship, but like this is his. You know, every artist has their own style.
Right, right.
It was very time consuming because we had. Well, I say we, me and my husband, because we kind of picked the characters together. We want so much detail, and my artist didn't want to do that, but he did it. Like it was a lot of, you know, we need the bracelet, we need the eye like this, and we wanted it our way, but he did it.
That's dope. So much success. We really think we're happy you're here.
Glad to be
just to, like, for them to have a voice, the author needs a voice as well. And this platform could serve as anything. You know, we'd love to have you back on again when you have more success and you continue to, you know, do well in the open space. It's good to self-publishing. I don't even know how. I mean, that you're doing, right? You're self-publishing. That's dope. And how hard is that?
Super duper. If I could rewind,
yeah,
I would have liked to use a publishing company.
Yeah, but I mean, this is like what, 20 pages, 10 pages,
30 pages.
30 pages. Yeah. Okay, so.
But I mean, I did absolutely everything by myself.
Right.
Wow. And it's trial and error. I never did this or anything, but you know, research. I live on a computer, and thank God I have time to do it.
Right. So that so now that you're up to, you said 15 books now.
I've written 15.
You've written 15 books.
3 are published.
And you talked about like not having a publisher. Like if you had to do it all over again, you'd do it with a publisher. Oh, so you started your own publishing company. Okay.
Yeah, I got my own company.
So that led you to that. Right. So knowing that now, and to say if you were to start that over again, would you go the route of plugging away and doing your own thing?
I would have went with a publisher.
You would have went with a publisher still? Okay.
I mean, only reason, honestly, is because I have so many books. If it was one book, it's easier to self-publish one book.
Okay.
What the problem is like cost.
Yeah.
It's a lot. But one book, it would have been easy. 15 is like, I need help.
And so where is it now? It's in Amazon's and bookstores.
Amazon, the ebooks are on Apple, Barnes and Noble.
Great. That's what I found very interesting, because you don't find many children's books that you can get as ebooks.
Yeah, now these.
I mean, you can get like the classic books like Charlotte's Web and stuff like that, and some of the Ezra Jack Keats books and stuff. But like most children's books, you normally can't get in an ebook form.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that would be smart because, you know, kids using the tablets and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
So
why wouldn't they? I mean, why wouldn't they do that? And that seems, you know, a little crazy to not have it.
Yeah.
But in a grand scheme.
I just got them translated actually now.
Really? So you got different languages? Nice. So you have Spanish?
Yeah, I haven't done it yet, but I just got the books translated, so now I gotta make them and print them in Spanish.
Wow. That's fantastic.
Well, I gotta put the files together, you know, since I gotta do it myself.
Well, yeah.
But I'll get it done.
But that's interesting because now you're saying that in different languages, so you'd have to print double copies, triple, and, you know.
Well,
or you want to do it electronic first?
I'm gonna do both.
Okay.
I'm just, because all I have to do, you know, the illustration's already done. So I'm going to type up the work and then put the files together, you know.
Yeah.
And just give it to my printer company.
I see.
And when, you know, the orders come in,
they just bang
but
them
like
out.
we have like worldwide
distribution?
Yeah, we have that. But no, like global interest, like all over the world. So there's a lot of other countries that probably can't read this English, but they're going on my website.
Wow.
So it's like, all right, well, we need to we'll start with the most common language, Spanish. But ultimately, like, because I have a lot of companies that are wanted to translate Chinese.
That's dope.
So I'm like, all right.
What's been the most interesting? Like you just mentioned Chinese. Has that probably been the most interesting response you've gotten international?
No, Russia.
Really?
Russia.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Dun, dun, dun.
I mean, honestly, it's all over, but it's Russia and a lot of Africa.
Okay. That's interesting.
That's very interesting. Well, like we said, much success.
Thank you.
We're proud to you first guest. So.
Yes.
Oh, that's right. She is we got to do something for her.
Yeah,
well, I brought her coffee. So that's
coffee.
Yes, thank you, sir.
Yes.
So
can I just make my bagel?
Yeah, please do that.
Yeah, there's no formalities.
Right, there's no formality here, but
got everything bagel in?
Yes, there are everything bagels in there.
I think maybe just rip the whole bag.
But no, just rip the whole thing.
Rip it?
Yeah, just rip it.
Oh man, that's men stuff. See, only men would say like just rip the whole bag.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Make a plate out of it. But you mentioned something earlier.
I need a knife.
Big game today, hey?
Oh yeah.
Big game today.
Uh-oh, I don't know. But who are you rooting for?
What do you mean, who am I rooting for?
Come on, 8 o'clock.
Oh, the Giants and Cowboys?
Yeah.
I'm rooting for the Giants.
Alright. Well, let me put this back.
No, you can have it. Well, she needs a knife. She needs a knife.
I want the Cowboys.
So you're a Cowboy fan?
I'm not a Cowboy. Well, my daughter's dad is a super Cowboys fan.
Yeah.
So that's how, I learned football and everything. So I was a Cowboys fan. But I'm not a Cowboys fan now. I'm just a big game fan.
I'm the same way. I really don't have allegiance to any team. I guess if I had to choose one, I guess I would say I'm a Jets fan, which is why I say I don't have a team because the Jets suck.
Right.
But I want to see good football. I want to see a good football game. Mm-hmm. So I'm hoping these are good football games.
It's like all my friends are Giants fans, so when I'm with them, I'm a Giants fan.
Okay, all right. You don't want to go counter to the
Nah,
thing?
it depends, because like Super Bowl,
conversation?
I'll go against them. Like, I like to start. I go against what they say.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Like, Giants games are fun to go watch. Like,
they are. But Dallas fans freak me out because a lot of them don't even know why they're Dallas fans. They just, because of the legacy, they always say, well, my father was a Dallas fan, my grandfather's father, and they somehow have this legacy that kind of exists and doesn't exist.
Like,
Dallas fans are well, I think most of them are nuts.
Yeah, I think so too.
They're maniacal. They're fair weathered.
Fair weather. That's a good word. Yeah, I like that.
They easily, like, even when they had this great season last year, but when there were chinks in the armor, they all came out. Oh, how could you do this? We gotta change it all. It's like, hey, they lost a game.
Right. At the end of the day, this
is not when you blow it up and all that stuff like that.
So is it right to call fan is short for fanatic, right?
Yes.
So we're having an aha moment there.
You're supposed to be smarter than both of us, actually.
Fan is short for fanatic. And so, being a fanatic, you buy the gear, you support the team, you put a cheese on your head, and you do whatever. And I happen to think that being a fan is territorial somewhat. Like, school. I think of school.
Okay.
And I never rooted for the other team. I never rooted for the other school because their colors were cool, or I knew somebody at school, etc. I rooted for my team. So
you don't understand people who.
Right.
You're not from Dallas, so.
Right. Now I could understand if you had some roots, maybe.
Bandwagon, I guess. Maybe.
Yeah. Well. Yeah. I just don't understand it. I mean, I
think people tend to be anti-fans more than they are actual fans. Now I experienced this because I'm a big, I'm a big New York Yankees fan.
Yes, sir.
So
biggest one I know.
I'm a huge New York Yankees fan, and I know a lot of people in the area who claim to be Red Sox fans or Mets fans.
Right.
But when you talk to them about, okay, well, how'd this happen? They'll immediately tell you the first thing is that they hate the Yankees.
Right.
So you're not a fan of them.
You're just
an anti-Yankee fan. Wow. So I think that happens a lot in
I think
and plus you get attached to like an event that happens. Like a lot of people who I know who are like our age who are Dallas Cowboy fans, they remember the time when they saw Tony Dorsett do this
that
one
was
thing, or they remember when
Herschel
you know,
Walker
right,
was
or when
Evan
Troy
Smith.
Aikman did this, or Michael Irvin did this, and stuff
Yeah.
like that, and so they attach themselves to that.
Yeah, I think so.
And so now you like sort of like latched on to that. So now you got to keep that thing going, and you don't, you to jump ship, or that makes you a rat.
I just think it's so bad. It's like you said, fair weather is just stick to. But if you're gonna be a fan, it's cool, and just really support the team. I mean, really be a fan, not just be a fair weather fan. That's kind of like I like the team. I'm not a fan. I think fan is over. Like using the word means a lot. It's short for fanatic.
But you can get some people do get carried away.
So, but you're not really a fan. You could like a team. I like watching them. Like you said, they're fun to watch.
Right.
But being a fan, I mean, I think words we lose the credibility of the word because we use it so freely.
Right. Well, some people can't put it down. Some people can't put it down,
right.
So they can't put it down. Like, so let's say tonight if Dallas loses and whatnot. Okay, Dallas lost, your team lost, and whatever. So that'll carry over. Unfortunately for some people, that'll carry over into like the week. And you have a crappy now Monday, and you know
and then you have to hear about it.
Right, you got to hear about it all the time.
Water cooler talk. This is
right, and so you get upset at
week.
your job, and then your kids say, "Hey, mom, dad, can you do?" And you tell them, "Oh, and it carries over into everything else and whatnot."
That's
so
true.
I mean, yes, it's good to be, to root for your team and have fun with it. But when it's over, you gotta put it down.
Yeah, you gotta put it down.
I agree.
I agree with that. But I think people have such a hard time with doing that. And I don't know which comes first. Do they do it because their people at work do it? And you get the people that don't know shit about sports, but start talking with people and they have to engage. And what's wrong with saying, hey, I like watching it, but I don't know nothing about it. Like, people don't know stats. They don't know. And that's fine. And I think people are just afraid to say they don't know.
Right.
But they carry it on. I've been in conversations with people like dragging it on, and I clearly know you don't. You're not telling. You haven't said anything about the game, and they're like, "Well, when the guy he ran, man, did you see when he ran? Yeah, well, everybody ran. I saw everybody ran, but." So I think people, like you said, get a little carried away, and they don't know how to put it down. I like that. Put it down, man. Just like it's over. Sure. It's a game.
It's over. It's fun.
I know.
So we're all. So I'm assuming we're all watching the game. You watch?
Oh yeah.
Right.
Watch it.
And is football a big deal in your house?
No, not at all.
No.
Nope.
But it is in like kind of like what we said, the community, right? Like everybody's talking about it. It's something to do.
I like the big games. Like I might go watch it somewhere. But other than that, I don't really watch football.
So pre 9/11. September 10th, we were on the 16th anniversary of September 11th. And, right, 16 years?
I think 16. Yeah.
17 is 01. Does it mean a lot to anybody? Well, you were on the force at the time.
Yeah, I went there.
Oh, really?
So you tired.
Yep.
The buzz!
I responded.
Oh man, that's
So what does that mean for you?
So yeah, so like what? Because there was like the moment before, and then the moment after when you realized what was really going on.
Yeah, that day was crazy. I remember.
And that had to have been like a total, like your mind had to have been like jumbling like all over. Because you wore a uniform, you had a responsibility.
I had to go, yeah.
And I'm sure like people asked you like, do you want to go?
No, there was no asking.
Well, I'm saying, but if it was a choice,
I wanted to. No, you wanted to.
Oh, okay, really?
Everything was disaster. Like, everybody came together. Like, it was because everyone was scared. Like, literally.
So there was a lot of question in the air, right? Like, what's going on?
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Like, what's happening?
What's
here?
happening?
Yeah,
so what kicks in first? Your human instinct or your training?
With I think it's human instinct.
Yeah, I would think so.
Yeah, no, I think that's human.
Because a reaction is a reaction no matter what. Because the human body, right? You respond, boom, you look, and then it's like.
I mean, I think training also, but initially, like.
But that's interesting too, because the training is meant to coexist with your human reaction. Right. So that spawns another question of why some people have this knee-jerk reaction to shoot somebody when that means they're not properly trained.
or they let their emotion and the circumstance go beyond what their training says.
I think so. I mean, if there's a balance, if there's some sort of symbiotic balance that has to happen between human training and what an instructor is telling you, and at some point you got to find that balance.
I'll tell you something. Everything the instructor tells you is out the window.
Yeah.
I don't remember. You never remember anything.
But something kicks in.
It's training. I mean, on the job training.
There's training and there's on the job training, and there's what you've learned. But then when you get with the veteran that says, "Okay, I know they told you to do this."
Yeah, I had one of those.
But it's really this.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh, you're gonna get wet today. What is that? Training day.
You do what's.
What I remember, honestly enough, what I remember about 9/11 is after 9/11.
Like how soon after?
It was directly after and the few months after 9/11 that there was chaos and there was this, because anytime you have chaos, you got to bring order. So there was this attempt to bring order to some form of chaos, and I just remember everybody being really, really, really
angry.
Angry externally, but to each other,
Mm-hmm.
everybody was like respectful and responsive and courteous to everybody. Mm-hmm. There was this notion that we were all now connected because we had survived. We had surpassed this event. We have experienced this one thing, and so like usually when there's like an incident on the highway, those things weren't happening, and so we sort of we looked after each other.
Right. Yeah, it was like that.
Yeah, I saw a lot of that too. I mean, I was in the hotel business at the time. I was in the hotel, and it was pandemonium in Times Square.
You had to stay there, right?
Yeah, they locked us in. All the managers had to stay, and we had to we go into crisis mode or whatever. And we're just going through this because of Y2K. Yeah. What a farce! I mean, that was the biggest. That was the biggest sky that never fell, right?
I remember like that weekend before Y2K. I can't remember what it was, but I remember I went to a store, and there were lines of people with like batteries and water, and just like, what the hell are y'all doing? They were like, Y2K. I'm like, well, what's gonna happen? They said, well, we don't know. I'm so.
Yeah, that was funny. I forgot about it.
But how crazy could humans be that a calendar could literally fall off? Like, people thought we don't know what's gonna happen after the number flips.
That's it. After Y2K is it. It's over.
Like after the number flips. So
people saying that was it. This is it.
Yeah.
People saying this is it. We're gonna revert. I remember reading things. People saying that we are now gonna revert back to the time where we now have to like go out and hunt.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, because all the money's gonna be gone.
Yeah.
Computers won't work anymore.
And we'll be back to the Stone Age.
Right, exactly. So you gotta compete with your neighbor for food and stuff, and you gotta go in your neighbors' houses and like raid their refrigerator for their stuff.
I'm baffled that the food, like, listen, this says a lot more about the people than it does about the culture. Like, people are freaking fooled by anything. Like,
we're very excited.
They're just very gullible for everything, and I don't know how that happened, because we evolved from time. Okay, there was the big computer, then it got little, then it's small. Mm-hmm. So why would anybody even think that it could end?
It's one person started the rumor, and then
Y2K was a rumor.
Yep.
Is that crazy?
You can make up anything.
I mean, it was a hypothesis. It was essentially a hypothesis that could have happened.
Yeah. All right.
And just to be honest, it could have happened, but it was something that was mitigated a long time ago. The people who manage those type of things, they say, okay, well, it's not going to happen because we fixed it. Yes, it theoretically could have happened.
Make up something about 2020 and let's share it, and I guarantee you.
It's possible. Yeah. They had a movie, right? 2020 with this guy. There was
that's it. 2020 is
that's it. 2020.
And with all the disasters going on, they'll be
you listen, you can't get people on board with that, and there's tons of them out there on YouTube. You can watch it all day long, and you'll go nuts thinking about that.
Look at now, if you've read George Orwell's 1984.
Okay, so now it speaks a different language. It starts to sound real.
Right.
I didn't read that.
1984's George Orwell. Basically, he talked about the surveillance state and thought police and stuff like that.
Yeah, thought crimes.
Right, thought crimes.
Just like Minority Report.
Like Minority Report.
Yeah, that was all about.
That stuff exists now.
Yeah.
I mean, especially in surveillance. The notion that you are not being watched.
Right.
No, you're being watched.
Well, I believe that.
Yeah, that's for sure. There's always people. Oh, you online people And they're gonna find you. They're gonna.
But I'm not paranoid. But
right.
Like that, people that are paranoid drive me nuts with that.
Yeah.
You're in the phone book, for Christ's sake. Like you have a social security number and you have a birth certificate.
Right.
You have a phone bill that you pay in your real name that you gave your social security number. Where are you going? Where are you hiding from?
Finding you is not a problem.
That's not a problem. Not a problem. So for these people that think, too much internet and whatever else, and I think the psychosis of it has changed people, and it actually, it was a great segue. It actually prohibits people from becoming productive. So you said you're not afraid of it, and what'd you do? You used it to research your own stuff and find out a path that could help you.
Right.
People that are afraid of it are stifled. They won't. Right. I won't touch it. I won't go on the internet.
They don't pay bills online. They don't do anything.
Right. And then when the people don't accept it no more, they go to these little check cashing places. I'm shocked that we haven't found a better word for that. Check cashing place.
When was the last time you wrote a check?
I don't even own a check.
No, I just.
Right. When was the last time you wrote a check?
I don't have any.
I got this huge checkbook at home, and I think the last check I wrote was like 2.5 years ago.
Yeah,
because I had to give somebody something, and I couldn't figure out how to get it to him.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, well, I'll write you a check.
And you're like,
yeah, exactly.
How do you write?
How do you do this?
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, do I do this? Do I sign the back? No, right? No.
But it's funny. Like in schools, they don't teach checking, banking.
They really need to do that.
Baffles me.
How to balance an account.
Everything.
Just basic debits and credits. You have no idea how many people don't know.
Well, it can't be too redneck.
God.
They got Vanilla Ice and
Vanilla Ice.
Listen, those motherfuckers were sitting
around?
there. Yo, let me tell you something about Vanilla Ice, man. Okay, he performed, and it's an event. Who cares, right? So I'm like, all right, I'm hip. I grew up hip hop. He was kind of one of those guys that were in the background. Like he was a thing. He happened. He happened. You know what I'm saying? Harry Van Winkle, whatever. No, he was cool. I like that he broke a platform. Right? He broke the. I guess he was manufactured or whatever. But the interesting thing about him performing at this show, and it was in the middle of the woods, is that he comes on, and I'm like, okay, I hear, come on, man. Let's do it. So I'm like, oh shit, he about to freak Genuine joint? Like, I thought he had to have a rap to it, like a ill song to it. The nigga sang the whole song. He sang
Genuine?
Come, and he was grinding and dancing, and I was like, guys,
how was his hair? Is it still the same?
I got the video. Now he had a cap on.
Okay.
Yeah, I got it. But he sang the song like a cover song, like a guy at a wedding would sing, you know. And I was like, and everybody was into it, and I was like, guys, that's not his song, man. That's not his song. They was like, oh, he's good. Yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute, wait. You guys are fooled by this? And I'm like, now I'm anti. I'm like, wow, this is corny, man. Like, that's not your song, man.
So now wait a minute. Now, is that because it's not his song, or because that everybody thought it was his song?
Right.
That got you upset? Because I mean, that's not
sure
new.
He knows that.
Right. I'm sure.
It's not
somebody was going to know that.
It's not new for somebody else to do somebody else's song.
I agree. No, I agree. I mean, I just thought of an artist that has such a repertoire of his, and maybe I'm overstating it. But I think he had enough. He was only on stage for a couple hour maybe or whatever. I'm sure he had enough songs that he could sing. And it's okay with doing some cover songs, but you freak them and you do your own version of them or something like that. I mean, that's what an artist would do. But he was more of a performer than he was an artist.
Maybe he's trying to prove he can sing.
I mean,
was it good?
No. No.
And it wasn't good?
It wasn't good. I think I just was prejudging it because I'm like, okay, I mean, I know the words to this, but I feel goofy singing it with him. I'm really goofy singing it with him. Like, okay, if Genuine was up there with his greasy curly hair, I'm like, oh, man, this is my joint, man. I remember this joint. But this dude was like, and he was doing the grind and had pulled chicks up on stage and doing.
That's the part you didn't like.
I'm okay with that. If it would have been Greasy Genuine,
if it would have been Greasy Genuine, it would have been cool.
I'm just saying, like, I don't know. I mean, cover songs is cool to do, but not too much. I mean,
I felt the same way after Prince passed, and everybody thought they could do Purple Rain.
Wait, so who did it at something? Somebody just did it at an award show or something.
I can't remember who did it at an award show, but I remember there was, I think, a birthday party you had, and you had it someplace, and there was a band, and they were playing, and
yes,
and all of a sudden, it was someplace out in It was closer to the. It was closer to the. I think it was in Freeport. I can't remember.
Oh, it was when we were at Nautical Mountain, right?
Tropics?
It was what's that club?
Broncos?
Patio.
Oh, okay.
We were at Patio.
We were there, and there was a band there. I almost got kicked out because I had Tim's on.
Yeah.
I had Tim's on, so we can't let you on with Tim's. I'm like, yeah, my brother invited me to a party. I said, I can't let you on with Tim's, and I told her to. I said, well, fuck it then, I'm not going in. And then he said, hold on, let me. I was just like being real belligerent when I got there, but I was like, come on, man, I got the hat on, right. I had the big brim hat on. Yeah, but it was this band playing, they were pretty good. It was a cover band, they were playing things, and all of a sudden you hear,
I never meant to touch this.
Dude, yeah, and I was like, whoa. Me and Keisha said that too. I was like, no, don't.
Yeah, I do remember that. It was at Patio. Yeah, and they were really going in. But I like cover songs. I really do. I like cover records. I just don't think for an artist to cover another artist is kind of weird. You should have. And then his big song was?
Oh no.
Go Ninja, go. Teenage Mutant
Ninja Turtle one?
I was like, you think is that what gets you up? Like people know you for this song?
Okay.
The regular Ice Baby. That's when that came on. And who's there this year?
But he's at the Redneck Riding.
Tone Loc.
So Tone Loc.
Tone Loc is there this year.
We knocked the dust off of Tone Loc.
Tone Loc is there this year.
Who selects those people? Like
they got a small budget. They have a small budget. They don't. They don't have a lot of money. And they spend most of the money they spend is to bring the buyers down.
I was just gonna say they take all the money goes to dirty
and paying for all the ATVs and stuff. Like this guy.
But it's gotta be something because you said Tretch.
Yeah, No By Nature. That one was cool, and I was shocked that people was really getting into the down with OPP.
Yeah.
They usually put on a good show though.
Yeah, they did.
No By Nature usually puts on a good show.
It's a bunch of grown business people, and you throwing out condoms. With OPP condoms.
I'm sure they use those.
Yeah, but
a big group.
I don't know. It wasn't classy enough.
Right,
I don't think you needed to be class. And Tretch came out with his ass out, like he
sagging and all
sagging with his ass out, like his butt was out, like
he had nice underwear on though.
No, his ass was out.
Oh,
like he sagged without the drawers.
Oh, that's crazy.
I was like, nah, that's not how it goes, man. You from East Orange, man. You from Jersey. You know how this go.
So you hanging low and free ball.
Yeah, he had
like, oh no, that's.
And it was part of his dance. Like he do that little crip walk thing.
That sounds a little like, fruity to me.
I was like, nah, bro. Like,
I've never understood that.
Yeah, sagging.
I've never understood.
It's horrible. Like
because you make a decision when you leave the house that this is how you're gonna present yourself. And I'm doing this because, like what? Like what is it? Like what are you attempting to portray?
Cool? Like I don't know.
What I think it is, I think people do it because, we talked about this in the last podcast. Being conveniently ignorant when you just want to prove to people, like especially when you're around other races, you want to just show them, yeah, fuck you, I got money too, whatever. And so what? I'm saying like, you ain't gonna do nothing. It's just anti. I mean, it's just whatever the motive is. Anti. I just want to mess this up because y'all think it's sweet out here. Mm-hmm. And I see people do it all the time for no reason. Like it's all this myth about that's a jail style or it means you're.
Yeah, but people don't think that. No, people aren't that deep.
That doesn't work for anybody, and it's truly just something. Now, a guy like Jay-Z. Well, when he was Jay-Z, still now he's more like for the older people. Now the younger kids are like, okay, so what? That's not. I don't understand what that is. We gonna put bricks of money up to our face and do that all day long. But that's conveniently ignorant, right? That's a style. Holding a brick of money to hello. It's gotta be the stupidest thing ever. But it's a statement that just says I'm living. Whatever style, different style, moment to moment. Listen, none of us will answer this question here on this podcast, but
I do really hate to see a grown man sagging as opposed to.
It's hard,
right? Kind of, yeah.
Like
it's
kind of like
man, you should know better now. You should be Aren't you like don't you
have kids?
Don't you have kids? Don't you have? Aren't you?
I mean, I can see the top of the underwear, like Calvin Klein.
Okay, if it happens by happenstance, and it just as a matter of day, like you go through the I need plumber's putty, the guy doing fixing your sink and his ass shows. But the style of it to come out your house and they tie the belt like
that's horrible.
Right,
they
tie the belt right about his thigh.
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
But you know who could stop that?
Police.
Jesus.
Police.
No,
Jesus.
Women.
Nah, women.
Women can stop that.
Women. Yes,
women. The power of the P can stop that. And put it this way.
But how do you figure that?
Well, so how you tell your daughter if you ever bring a dude like that?
She knows.
All right, then that's one person stopping one guy from doing it. So if just imagine if all the women had this code, like a bro code, a girl code of, hey, we don't talk to guys like that. Like we don't want to be we don't even want to be around you. Like if you come near me and talk to me, pull your pants up.
Right.
So you could stop it at some point, because they do it because the girls that do respond to them, that's the lower echelon of what they're looking for.
The LCD.
They don't want to. If you don't think that somehow, if you can't get past that, they don't want you.
Right.
They're not looking for you. They're looking for somebody that's, he's crazy. He crazy.
He's so cute.
He's so cute. Look at he got a little polo.
Yeah.
Little Gucci. The freak.
The
polos are like 3 for $10 now. Like they're not even. It's a shame, man. It's a real shame. But so we talked about Giants. We talked about Dallas. It's gonna be a lot of salty people tomorrow, one way or another, at the water cooler. 9/11 is tomorrow. For all those fallen soldiers, is really something special for them to have given up, sacrificed themselves, I guess, for something they didn't understand.
Right.
So me, the conspiracy in me is always. We're not gonna go too far into it.
Okay, thank you.
But there was a very interesting topic that happened on 9/10, just before 9/11, and you guys know what that was, right?
Remind me.
Okay, so Monday morning of the 9/10, it was a congressional hearing with Donald Rumsfeld explaining trillions of dollars in DOJ expenses. Mm-hmm. And basically he said, it's above my pay grade. We don't know what happened to them. $3 trillion of government spending unaccounted for. His answer was, well, accounts payable and accounts receivable is two different companies. Right. So we don't know what went out, and we just know what comes in and what goes out, but we don't know how they correlate to each other. And Cynthia Jenkins, maybe I'm saying her name wrong, she said, "This is unacceptable. You're the guy, you're the people who are supposed to know."
Right.
And he was like, "Well, I answered to the president, and go ask him." You know what I'm saying? And $3 trillion of defense money and all this other stuff. So conveniently, he was supposed to bring those records to court. He was mandated to bring those records to. The dog ate his homework the next day.
Yeah.
Building 7.
That's loose.
That's where the stuff was.
That's very loose.
That's where the documents were.
Okay, but then you have to say that this was a 24-hour plan.
Yeah, that was just
you have to acknowledge that this was a 24-hour plan. This is okay. They're looking to do this.
I could see a fire in the office, but that type of event.
Okay, let's go one more. Let's go one more.
If it was a fire, I'd be like, all right, that.
You saw the hole in the Pentagon, right?
Yeah.
Right. So a hole in the Pentagon. You didn't see no plane or nothing. They told you it was a plane. It's okay. Well, you never saw it, but there's a lot of things you don't see that we accept.
I saw a video of the plane.
No, you didn't. No, you didn't. You saw a plane. You saw a part of a plane. You saw a little, like every car accident. There's always a shoe.
Well, there was not video like there was for the city.
There was no video because it happened in 2 seconds and it just exploded. It was a missile or whatever. And conveniently, it was at Donald Rumsfeld's office. That was his office, sitting there with papers flying in his desk, sitting there with the gaping hole and papers flying out the window, like no fuselage, no. It melted. That's what they told you. Shanksville, same thing. The plane just hit so hard it just melted. Are we at the point now where we believe disintegration is possible? There's no disintegration gun. There's no way to.
So that's.
Well, to question is number one. The question is extremely healthy.
Yes.
And so
that's all I'm doing.
To question
I'm not
is
passing the
extremely
judgment.
healthy.
Right.
The problem I have with a lot of people who are conspiracy theorists is they don't necessarily believe in anything. They don't believe what necessarily happened. They just continue to question what has been said. Now, some of that is legitimate, some of that is ridiculous. But at some point, you have to come to a notion of, well, I believe this happened. And unfortunately for a lot of people who are conspiracy theorists, they will never say, I believe that this happened, because that puts you in the realm of having to justify that belief.
No, I get it. I'm totally with that, and I know what you mean. But we talked about this earlier, and somehow the notion of Y2K was something that people thought was acceptable. It didn't happen, and therefore we accepted that it didn't happen. So, are you accepting? Are you accepting it? Like, I know what you're saying. The conspiracy guy just has no end. It's always, but why? But why?
Yeah, but
why? But why? It's
right,
a 5-year-old,
exactly,
right?
But at some point, like when you talk about Y2K, at some point you have to come to an understanding and say, okay, well maybe it was a conspiracy, but you know what? Nothing changed. So, if we're still if life is still the way it is now, then to say that this one event was going to change things, but it really did change everything, but now we don't know it because now we're further in the matrix, and then when we die we meet the man in the white suit and stuff. You know, I mean, at some point you can't continually conceptualize something to which you have no grounds under which you're doing that. At some point you got to accept that.
No, point taken.
You know,
point taken,
we could philosophize all day about how these bagels are really meant to destroy our mind and stuff and whatever. Okay,
bagels are coming to get you.
They're coming to get you. You can hypothesize that all you want, but until
They cause cancer.
Until you can say that, okay, continually eating these bagels makes you psychotic, and it's because of this, and this thing, then it's just you're just gonna have to either accept
drive yourself crazy.
Accept the fact, right? You can drive yourself nuts doing it.
Yeah, I agree. I'm not saying, because I fight these battles a lot when I talk about it, and they're you have to pick them, and it's only good for intelligent conversation, just to see how weird people's head is.
Right.
But it's always it always baffles me of what people will accept because of who said it. Right? It's because who says it. How many times have we grown up saying, "Oh, it was on Oprah." And it was this, and this is the new cream to stop, your eye. Or this is this. Or Dr. Oz said it. And there's 1,000 fat people walking around here, and there's no cure for it. And Dr. Oz is the first one to say, I didn't say it. Like, I will never say it. I'll never say anything is true or is not true. So
we want to be told. We don't want to find out. We don't want to find out things on our own.
Right,
you know?
I think
which is why, when it comes back to you as a book author, people, you need to start reading, and you need to start looking at things that tell you, like you said, kids with special needs don't necessarily have a voice.
Right.
And so you can live with these perceptions that, well, maybe, and people think on the extreme that, well, maybe they should have a separate part of society for people like that, because they have to be taken care of a certain way, and things like that. And maybe that lends some truth to it, but what you do in your books is basically say, no, these are normal kids, and maybe we should start treating them just as normal kids, who we have to engage a little differently.
Exactly.
So maybe when we race, maybe we got to take a little more time to say that they're going to be involved in this in this race, and find out the things that they like. Well, they still like things too. They still like cartoons.
They still everything. Yeah.
They still these are still kids that still like things, and maybe not put, let's hold off on creating this box for which we were going to put people in.
Box is just so Hellraiser, you go to Hellraiser, what's in the box? First time you didn't know what the box was. Second time you didn't know what the box did. I don't know, it's quoting from movies, but no, this is very interesting dialect. I mean, I think we all have perspective, and it's healthy. When you take away like all these human right issues, and you can't say this and you can't say that. So censorship is actually stifling people from having these conversations. Like in some countries, what we're doing now is illegal.
Yeah.
To have free thought and publish it and tell people, because you're going to start a riot, and how dare you say your government was against this? How dare, how dare, how dare? So I remember a time, when we were growing up, they said if you cursed about the president, you would be arrested. Like, I grew up hearing, if you burn $1, they'll arrest you or burn a flag.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I never heard about burning $1. Burn a flag that they would
burn a currency or destroy money or whatever, or burn a flag.
Yeah,
or you never heard that?
Nope.
The flag, yes. I mean, the flag you would get labeled in
public school, man.
Yeah. Well, shit, I went there.
But that I mean, it says a lot. Like, we're putting so much emphasis on institution training us, and family is where you're going to learn more interaction, human interaction. You're going to learn so much more from talking to people in your household.
Interaction nowadays. Though.
Yeah.
So social media is not
no
social.
conversation.
Yeah, we're unsocial media.
We're more connected, but we engage with other people.
My daughter will
less.
text me, "Mom, what's for dinner?" Like,
Oh,
you gotta come to my room.
They
like,
do it upstairs, downstairs. It's amazing.
Golly.
yeah, I have to tell her, like, let's put the phone down. Like, you know, let's go do something. Let's watch TV and stuff like that.
It's amazing how that has to be like a conscious, like you have to make that a conscious thing.
Let's watch a movie.
Put your phone down. Let's
I gotta tell her that.
Let's talk. Let's watch a movie.
Tell your friends stop texting you. Let's watch, or play Scrabble or whatever.
Right. Are her friends like that too?
What do you mean, like?
You don't. I mean, do they pretty much? Because I think they would all pretty much interact the same way.
Yeah, no, they don't do what me and her do, so they don't understand it.
Right.
Like,
oh, okay.
Their relationship with their mom is not like, that's a little different. But all teenagers are the same.
Yeah. I see that, but I see it like when I take the train into work, and you see a mom or dad with their kid. Mom and dad like looking at their phone, and they have a phone for their kid.
Kids on an iPad.
The kid has an iPad,
right.
and the kid is pretty much. And so,
there's no.
You've actually started off with this like
pacifier
limited this box that we just said.
Yeah,
okay, I'm here. I'm doing this thing.
Conversation.
You go over here and do this thing, and it's rare that you see.
That's laziness too.
A parent on the train just talking to their kid.
Right.
Just talking.
Yeah.
Hey, what are you gonna do today?
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you're gonna have for lunch today? Hey, I'm thinking about making so and so for dinner.
Like in the railroad, like this, you driving, you see, mommy, what's that? The kids, and then first thing they do, like, sit down.
Right.
Yeah, and the kid has questions.
They don't want to talk.
No, they don't want to talk. They don't want to do it. So
leave me alone.
I don't know why we lost patience to speak to our kids. I mean, because somebody's speaking to them. And if we won't, they will.
Somebody's
hear
gonna
us.
listen.
Somebody's
So they're getting a
right.
message from somewhere, and unfortunately,
sometimes it's not the good message.
no, it's not. It's music. I mean, music
definitely.
really speaks to everyone, and I think
YouTube.
but sonically, sounds, vibrations, and harmony speak to people. What we've taken advantage of and abused is music industry has mastered how to hide things in music subliminally. You know what I'm saying? So you listen to a guy like this bounce or whatever, this mumble rap stuff that they got going on, and it doesn't mean anything, the words, but the was it Future or was it just like somebody else just mumbling?
No. It was, somebody made a cartoon. Somebody made a cartoon.
Phil No Beep. Phil No Beep is a YouTube guy. He makes cartoons, parody cartoons.
Oh
yeah,
and he's hilarious.
Funny.
Yeah.
And the number 2 song in the country is what?
I don't know if it's number 2 this week, but Cardi B.
Cardi B. Now I don't know what the heck that is.
Bodak
y'all
Yellow.
Excuse me.
It's called Bodak Yellow. Don't fucking ask me what it is.
The first word is bitch.
Is it really?
Yeah.
This is the epitome of horrible, and they.
Every kid, let me tell you something.
They know the words.
Everybody knows all the words, and all the words are bad.
Bad. Like, I'm not saying bad. Bitch, I do this, I do that. It's horrible. Now, I do have a friend. I do have a friend, Nori Rain, and she had her daughter redo that song. And it's called Go to School, something like that. Don't be mad at me because I go to school. Right. And she flipped it.
Right.
And
so she parodied it.
She parodied it in a positive way.
Right.
She's in school
I heard a principal
with all her
do
friends.
It also the same song in a positive way.
And I think that's the approach. Like they're putting a lot of content out that we accept, and we just say that's our culture, and that's not our culture, man.
No, it's all negative.
That negative. Dude, if you hear this song, you'll probably hear it, and you probably turned away. Was like, hey, what is this?
I probably have.
Like
I probably have heard it, and I was like,
it's constantly on the radio.
Oh, it's
airtime
all
is
day.
crazy.
I can't stand it.
I like it though.
I like. See, that's what I was talking about earlier. Sonically, you like it because it got
right.
If I didn't hear what she
bad,
said, if I didn't hear the words, it would be okay.
So in other words, if you were hanging out at a party and you were in a club and the song
everybody gonna go crazy.
You'd feel it.
Yeah.
Oh, instant boom.
Yeah. But when I first heard it, when it first came, I was like, what is
sound
it?
like a broke Nicki
and you
Minaj,
could tell
right? Like
they changed her flow because her first songs weren't.
Nah, she wasn't like that.
She flowed different, and they had to slow her down. And,
dude, it's like a nursery rhyme gone. Her nightmare.
I would never think that she would have blown up like that.
And was she like a reality show or something like that? Was she
no,
one
she
of those?
was. She started loving hip hop or something.
Okay,
she did one season.
One season, and that's it.
That's all she needed.
I don't know. That's it, man. But that what we talked about earlier is that's where the signal is going. Like that success, that rapid success, or that appearance of success, kids are gravitating to that. Like these housewives and shows and all this stuff. And I often like, you know, she'll watch them for fun, you know, and I'll be like, okay, so what's the goal of this? Do they win a prize at the end? Do they
embarrass themselves?
They have brunch every day. They
fight.
They fight. They screw each other's boyfriends.
Right.
And I don't get it. I like, build something. Like go to a church and put up a piece of wood.
That's what it is gossip and drama.
I can't believe that's a thing.
And people watch it.
But that's a thing. Like it's like I gotta get home and watch this.
Not only do people watch
guys
it, but
watch it too, though.
Guys love watching
that's crazy.
But people also aspire to it, and that's what I don't get. People also aspire to it.
Right.
Like this is a way. You know, listen. There are 1,000 ways that you can become successful. Yeah. But kind of like the old ways are still like the best ways. Like you got to be a little bit educated. You got to have a little drive. You got to have a little patience. You got to be willing to. You got to be willing to start something at the bottom. You got to be willing to be at the bottom and work your way up to the top. And you got to see a hierarchy where, okay, if I can do this, maybe I can get here. I can do this, and that's always been the way to do it.
Fast.
You know, but if I get enough likes on this YouTube video,
then I could make some money.
Then I can make some money off of that and whatnot. And I'm not saying that's something you should hate on, but if that's going to be like the primary, I mean, we all need a side hustle. Everybody needs a side hustle.
Absolutely.
But if that becomes
a few side hustles, empanadas. Oh,
coquito.
She's sick with the empanadas.
You love empanadas?
No, she makes them.
You make empanadas?
She makes.
And
damn.
you brought nothing.
I was out all night.
No, she makes some kick-ass empanadas.
Well,
makes me.
Next time.
She does veggie empanada. You can't do a veggie empanada?
You know what? All right, so my friend, she lives not too far from here. Last week, she had a pool party, so she's like, can you make empanadas? Cool. I like to make beef. That's the original.
Right.
That's the classic.
But people are always like, can you make shrimp? Can you? I don't know how to. Then I'm cooking regular food and putting it in the empanada.
Right.
So she was like, yeah, make me a lot, just cheese.
What? Just cheese.
I don't make that. Yeah. But I've had a lot of people. She was like, "Can you do spinach and broccoli?"
Yeah.
Spinach and cheese and broccoli. And I said, "No, I don't. I'm not a chef. I'm like, I'm not."
Right.
But I made the cheese. She liked it.
Yo, the empanada guy on 38th
like, oh my God,
and
these are
6,
good. I'm like,
$2. He has just 3. He has cheese,
see, I know
queso,
$2.
beef, and chicken. $2 all day long.
What kind of chicken? Ground chicken or shredded?
No, breast. Like he takes breast and he strips it, like kind of.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna play around with. I wanted to make.
So it's chunky or is it shredded?
It's
shredded. Because once you cook it, like it gets soft and shredded.
It's like a brisket on the.
I was thinking about making roast pork ones. I want to try that.
That might.
I never.
That might be all right. That might be pretty.
And beef, yes.
No, not and beef.
No, I'm saying.
Right.
You said you made beef. You go with the classic. I could do some empanadas. I got.
Yeah, she's nice. Yeah. Didn't you make a tray for my party? Did you make some? Yeah. Chianne, this was awesome having you with us. What a lovely afternoon. We're gonna let you go enjoy the rest of it and make your little girl some breakfast or do whatever.
Oh no, she better have eaten by now.
Hope to have. And we'll probably hear what's gonna happen with the game later. We'll see what's on our predictions. Any predictions?
No, I don't know.
No.
Because I don't know.
Dallas over Giants.
Yeah.
Last year we beat them both.
Who had the cuter players?
It's amazing how it turns out. That's what it is. It's always the
I don't think we would know. Like, I don't think two bros would know.
It's always the woman who is just like is talking about the superficial stuff that wins the office pool.
That is true. Yeah.
Well, what uniforms are they wearing?
Yeah.
How you gonna wear that? And all the other teams gonna win. Oh, you won $250.
For guessing the right pattern.
Me, I'm looking at stats. Okay, well they're not good against the run, so there's okay. That none of that matters.
No.
You just
You know what? I'm Dallas.
Got Dallas?
Because we beat y'all twice last year.
They deserve a win because they just went through something pretty
Deserve got
traumatic.
nothing to do with it in sports. Giants, 28-17.
They're gonna win. They're gonna win.
As we say, you can't spell Dallas without two L's.
Oh, God.
I like
You can't
that.
spell Dallas without two L's. And that's what we gave y'all last year.
I've heard that before.
Mario has it on the shirt. That's why you said.
Giants,
Oh,
28-17.
28-17?
Giants, 28-17.
Predictions. There we go. We shall see.
Giants.
Giants, 28-17.
Okay.
Giants, 28-17. I'm telling you right now.
Hey, listen, you
Dallas does not have the defense to match.
That's interesting.
I will say that.
All right, that's what's up. So
next
Who's
week.
the quarterback?
Who of Dallas? Dak Prescott.
Dak Prescott, the young kid.
Yeah, they're gonna win.
He was third string and now he's fresh, right? Like he was third string.
Yeah, because I remember last year he was doing.
He
good.
was going to be third string.
He was like we're gonna be third
got a
string.
couple
That's who
injuries
I
and then
play
they
with
just put him in.
when I play.
You play video games?
Yeah.
That's it. Not a lot of women play.
I'm good. No, I play. My daughter's father had me playing.
Yeah?
But not a lot of women play video games.
Nah, I play.
I mean, other than like the Pac-Man and Miss Pac-Man and
I
Centipede
play
and
Madden
stuff.
and Live.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I can't do it no more. Like after the PlayStation and Mortal Kombat, that was my thing. Like, but after that, it got too complicated. Like
Yeah.
you hold this stick, spin the guy's head around, click, click, click. Other players going. I'm like, I be watching. I be playing with Ron. I be like, he's like, Dad, you're standing in the corner. I'm where? I thought I was dunking the ball. I don't know where I am. No, you're on the bench. No, the guy with the thing circling around your head. That's you. And I'm standing in the corner like this, like. Dribbling the ball. I said, "Fuck, I can't do this." 6 buttons on the damn controller.
Yeah.
Click, 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 and he just be. Now he plays with people online. And all that stuff. So they leave it on, right? The Xbox is on all the time. So you hear,
Xbox.
Yo, you up? I'm like, what's it? Got a dude in your room, man? What's going on? It's 4:00 in the morning. Nah, dude's on the Xbox, and I'm like. He's on the Xbox. Like,
I didn't know that they could.
Yeah, it's like a chat room.
Yeah.
And sometimes they get in a game and they really just talk more than they play.
Right.
Oh, that's pretty.
It's crazy. The
Yeah.
technology for your butt. That's crazy. But
those are our future drone strikers.
hey,
Our future drone controllers.
no, but that's the funny thing is like when he flies my drone, like he's not good at it. Like he plays the video
really?
game, but he can't. I guess because it's a piece of equipment. It's real time and there's cost. So the thing costs $1,000. You crash it, it ain't no press reset.
Right.
You gotta come up with some
bread.
bread.
Your fingers are programmed to press something else, like the controller. It's different.
Well, I'm sure it's no different. I think the cost factor really kicks into him when he goes, wait, I don't want to mess this up, Dad.
That's probably true.
You know, I don't want to play with this. I'll do it on the screen all day long. Pew, pew, pew.
How's your man in the corner with the thing on his head? How do you get stuck? Do the little thing.
He's just standing in the corner, dribbling the ball in a circle. I think after he's heating up, what's that NBA Live? That was like the first one, right? What was it with the 3-man, 3-on-3?
When you did the 2-on-2. He's on
He's
fire!
on fire, yeah, with the big heads and all that stuff. That's something that was fun for me, but it's gone a whole. These games now are crazy. Like I don't think they have real cartridges. I mean, the discs anymore. So everything's just online. Is that what it is?
You can do it online. You can.
No, they got the.
You still have to
You
buy
still have
it.
discs, but you can purchase them online.
Yeah, you can do it online.
Yeah,
Versus
that's crazy.
download copies.
And just download it and
download it on your system. Yeah.
And we're only days away from that happening forever. Like, so would that put
GameStop out of
business like Netflix did to Blockbuster?
Eventually, right?
Right.
Well, then if you're GameStop, you got to figure out a way how you're gonna.
But they have it. They have it online.
No, but how do you keep like? So let's say, and I don't know, they might be doing this already. But let's say you give GameStop, I don't know,
pay them
$50 or whatever, and then when games come out, you can download them for a smaller fee. than something that happens, or something like that, some type of membership or something like that.
Well, GameFly is like the Netflix.
GameFly is kind of like
is
that,
like the Netflix of the game. So you pay your membership fee. And you rent the game. It comes in the mail.
They send you the game.
They send you the physical game. You play it. You finish it. You send it back. A new one comes, and it's like that. So, but that's how Netflix actually killed Blockbuster.
Well, yeah.
So that was an evolution of it.
I was doing that too.
I used to
have to figure. But you had to figure there was a huge meeting in Blockbuster, in which somebody said, "Hey, look, you know, people are people are like they're starting to like get stuff streamed. I don't know if you heard of this stuff called streaming or whatever." But we have to figure out how to get our stuff.
Yeah, but then they did it too.
And they probably got kicked out of the room.
But Blockbuster did it too. They used to send them to the house too. They used to do the Netflix thing. Blockbuster videos used to come to the crib. Like once Netflix started doing it, they jumped right on
once Netflix started doing it, they jumped on it, but they didn't move. You got to be able to move ahead. Right. You got to be able to see what's coming down. They just copied it.
They said we do it too.
And went and figured, everybody will sign up for a subscription and show us your card when you come in. And wait online and take a chance that these movies will be here.
We just talked on something that's bugging me out now. Blockbuster's gone completely.
Yes.
That was kind of cool. Like go to the Blockbuster,
pick your movie,
walk around, like walk the aisles, and go. Ooh, I remember. Wow,
catch the visual.
So again, another human interaction deleted. Gone. Our kids don't know what that is. Remember,
they snacks. Can we get the candy?
And they had the popcorn buckets, and and even we thought that was a stretch from taking it away from the movie theater. So you lost the movie theaters, which you have a few of them now. And now, I guess the best way to do movie theaters is to really make them high end now. With beer and food.
Well, they have food,
the
recliners, reserved seats.
Right. You can't just have a steady Eddie movie theater no more. Less corny. Now you got to have all the recliners, less seats, and because
some places bring you food, don't they?
Yeah.
Some places will bring you food.
No, Edison Theater, and they got it right here. And Horace Hardin has one over there.
But they don't bring you.
You can't. They don't bring it to you.
Right. But they.
In Atlanta, there's a cool one where everything is a tablet. You got a tablet at the.
So have you been to the iPic Theater?
No.
A friend of mine went. I haven't been, but it's 4D. And
4D?
He said it's 4D.
So it goes past time.
Somebody smacked you.
Yeah. No, he took some girl to see a movie. I forgot what movie, and they're going through like the swamp or something. There's water splashing. So she turned off her water because she didn't want to mess up the heater. But he pushed the button back on. So there's another part and there's more water. She was like,
I like that. That's cool.
And then like the chair kind of moved. Like, he said,
that's like Universal when you the Spider-Man ride.
Right.
I was like, I would love to do that.
That's dope. Yeah. They have that at Universal.
There's one in New Jersey, and I think
Edison.
No, it's in Fort Lee.
But what's it called? 4D.
4D. That's what he called it.
That's a new thing. So because I will say that they had that at Universal, and you ride and it's all in, and water splashing, and you and you get out and you're in this little box. You're like, wait a minute, we didn't go nowhere. And you know what else is ill too now? They have the Samsung glasses, the VR on a real roller coaster. So you get on a real roller coaster, you put the goggles on, and it's going. And you're really on a real roller coaster, and you wearing the goggles, and you seeing aliens and shit jumping out, and you could zap them, and you could do stuff with it. Yo, it's crazy.
Really? Where's
they got that at Six Flags now.
Yeah, they got that Six Flags.
I'm gonna go.
They got that Six Flags, and you could get the VR. It's like an extra $10 or something like that, and you put the glasses on, and you be like, yo, wait a minute, wait a minute. Oh, yo, it's aliens coming at you, and people flying, and it's a whole virtual world.
Have you done those?
VR? Yeah.
I
had it, of course. I got it. I was gadget man.
Fell doing
I have every gadget.
And I was standing still.
She almost fell. We did the walk. You did the walk over the the World Trade Center.
The World Trade Center?
Yeah, you walk between two buildings.
Oh, no, I didn't.
She was like, watching. No. You take it off and you're like... But I didn't, you know what I didn't know? Or I was so curious to get it, and they were so cheap, and I was like, there's no tech in the glasses. They're just glasses.
They're just glasses.
So your phone slides inside it, and it's everything. So, and now, even if you look like on YouTube, you look in the upper right-hand corner, and it says watch and cardboard. Okay, you ever see the word cardboard?
No.
And that means it'll show two goggles. You can always watch something in VR. Now, movies too. Netflix has it too. When you stream on Netflix, you click on some movies, it'll show two little things like this.
Yeah.
You know how you have cast to the TV. It'll showing cardboard. It's called cardboard, and you can watch a movie in your glasses. It freaks you out. You can't. You're not supposed to do it more than 10 minutes. I get. Oh, okay. Oh, this is too much for me. This is way too much.
But that's only good for Samsung, right?
No. I use my iPhone in it. I put my iPhone in it. So Samsung makes theirs for their own phones. Like they have their they have their own proprietary. I bought a cheap one from JoeBlowTech.com. Slid my phone in there. You put the now with the 7 though is weird because it doesn't have the ports.
Right.
The power. Okay. So you got to hook it up that way. But tech is crazy, man. And I've flown my drone with it, so that's what I bought it for. Nice. And it is absolutely mind-boggling and dangerous because you think you up there like you. Whoa.
So what did you go on to download it?
Like, what?
You said the
cardboard.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll see it on your.
No, you said that she went through the World Trade.
Just the App Store.
What is it called?
Just the walk.
Thanks for watching Two Bros Podcast on 13 Ghost TV. Don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and you got some friends, right? So tell them.
Hey, thanks for watching Two Bros Podcast on 13 Ghost TV. Do me a favor, click the link below, subscribe, like, comment.